Kanata's mom died, so he moved to Japan to join a car racing league. To everyone's surprise, he is secretly the fastest racer in the world. Cars speed through a track while drones follow behind them. Due to environmental issues, internal combustion engines have stopped being produced and gasoline cars have become rare. Because of this, MFG, a gasoline gas car racing league, was born and now has over 30 million viewers worldwide. At an airport, the MFG qualifiers are being broadcasted. As the 10-second countdown starts, a white car zooms past and people cheer for it. Kanata Rivington watches from the airport and notices that, like in the UK, MFG is also popular in Japan. Ren is on a call with Wakana, who is excited to meet the new half-English, half-Japanese guy who will be staying in Ren's house for a while. Ren tells her to stop glazing as English men are usually ugly like you guys watching right now. She recalls Shun, a racer trying to go out with her, but Ren rejected him. She thinks to herself that looks don't matter as personality is more important, and wants to date someone who other girls don't find attractive. At home, her father wants to introduce her to Kanata, but she is starstruck by his looks and doesn't listen to anything her father says. Kanata greets her, and she nervously walks away, saying that she has homework. Her father brings up Kanata's mother and feels sorry for what happened to her. Rin closes her door as her heart beats out of her chest. Even though she swore not to judge people by their looks, she cannot help but get wet. At the train station, Wakana runs up to her and wants to know more about Kanata. She asks Ren for a picture of him, but Ren just tells her to visit her house and see him in person, as Ren also hasn't talked to Kanata much. Kanata stands outside Ogata's workshop, wondering if he's at the right place. He walks into the room and greets Ogata. Ogata is surprised that Kanata speaks Japanese and has also studied at a renowned racing school. Ogata informs Kanata that the MFG regulations only allow a certain grip-to-weight, meaning that heavier cars need wider wheels. As such, the best cars are usually European models, and Ogata will not be able to give Kanata the most powerful car. Still, Kanata doesn't mind as long as he gets to participate in MFG. Ogata opens the garage door to reveal a red car, and Kanata is impressed. He will be racing on the final day of the qualifiers in 4 days. Later, Kanata and Rin bump into each other as both of them are on the way home. They exchange contacts, and while walking, they make some small talk. Rin asks for a picture together and takes a selfie. Kanata tells her that he came to Japan to find his missing father. Tell him to go check the milk shop. At school, Wakana cannot wait to see the picture of Kanata, and when Rin shows it to her, Wakana jumps in excitement because FO how hot he is. Rin recalls Kanata showing her an old photo of his father. He wants to visit the place where the picture was taken, and Rin promises to take him there. He wonders why Rin is being so nice. Shun asks a colleague for Rin's real name and age and spots Kanata signing some papers to enter the race. He calls out to Kanata outside, and Kanata is excited to meet him as Shun is famous in England for driving a Nissan GTR. Shun warns Kanata that MFG is no joke, so he wants to take him under his wing. Car number 12 is currently in first place, and Shun doesn't understand how number 12 is so fast despite being a less powerful car. At the Ogata workshop, Kanata offers to help Ogata with anything, but they just end up sitting in the office. Kanata eats a Japanese snack and glazes Japanese food, mentioning that UK food is fucking ass. Ogata brings up that one of the cars in the garage has been driven in NFG by himself some time ago. Later, Kanata and Rin are at a temple, trying to find the location of the photograph. Realizing that they might be at the wrong place, Rin wants to leave, but Kanata stands in awe. He is amazed by Japan as he has never been here in his life, but feels very connected to the country. They go into the shrine and make an offering. While they are walking, Kanata asks Rin what she wished for, but Rin doesn't say a word. The next day, she rushes to the event. The scene cuts to an office building where the general manager of MFG, Fumihiro Joyu, is making a call as the event organizer wants to meet Kanata. Today is the final day of the qualifier. Rin can be seen wearing a not minor-suited outfit. Out of the 302 entrants, only 15 will win and be named the Godly 15. Kanata and Ogata walk up the steps, and Kanata apologizes for making Ogata work. Bro stayed in Japan for a few days and already became Japanese. As the countdown begins, the announcer is impressed with Angel number 7, Ren. Ain't she a minor, what the fuck? The cars race past her while Shun stalks Ren. Kanata spots him, and Shun recognizes Ogata as an old friend. He lies, saying that he is here to support Kanata when he is in fact not. Anyways, Kanata and Ogata rush to prepare. Kanata starts up car number 86, and Shun gives him some tips. He mentions that this track is the longest, and even though he hasn't been able to memorize it, Kanata already has. Kanata heads to the inspection zone and the starting line, but Rin spots him. surprised that he is competing. At the end of the countdown, the car accelerates. If you are still here, subscribe and like to help Ren riz up Kanata. Car number 86 speeds towards the incline. Ren's mom and dad are surprised because Kanata registered using his missing father's surname and not Rivington. They infer that he might be trying to reach out to his father. Kanata's mom passed away, and he left the country to come to Japan by himself. Kanata drives up the incline while Ogata speaks in his ears through the headgear. Kanata makes a turn and Shun comments that Kanata is currently being handicapped as the car has a H-pattern shifter and not a paddle shifter. Still, he notices that Kanata is currently in 54th place at the speed he is going and alludes to it being a system error. Kanata drifts through another bend, and his position shoots up to 53rd place, but Ogata still thinks it is a system bug as car number 86 has been marked with an alert flag. Other than Kanata, Michael Beckenbauer, a high-ranking driver, is the only one who has been able to manage this feat. Shun is fucking confused as the top 100 cars in MFG have more horsepower than Kanata's car, but Ogata tells Shun it's a skill issue. Kanata is clearly just better than everyone else, but Shun refuses to believe it as skill alone cannot make Kanata this much faster. The scene flashes back to Kanata mentioning that there must be a workaround for the uniform grip-to-weight ratio rule. Kanata is curious as to who made the rule and is told by Ogata that it is MFG's executive organizer, Takahashi Ryasuke. Ryasuke is a mysterious man as his face and age is unknown to the public. Meanwhile, Car 86 has passed Section 1 and is now in 52nd place. Ogata informs Kanata that the route in front is all downward sloping and Kanata will have to readjust. Kanata tells Ogata that since he is now comfortable with the car, he will pick up the pace, and Shun cannot believe that Kanata has been taking it easy. At a bend, Kanata drifts his car and is impressed with how finely Ogata has tuned the car. He picks up pace and is now at 48th place. Viewers watch from their laptops, and in the office building, Fumihiro stands up in agitation. He immediately calls Ryasuke, who is in a hospital, getting ready to perform a surgical operation. Fumihiro urgently informs Ryo that Kanata is Fujiwara's student and apologizes to Ryasuke for not catching on earlier. Now, we can hear Ryasuke gaining faith that Kanata has the potential to conquer the rule he made. Car 86 rockets to 44th place and is currently heading into an uphill section of the track. Kanata perfectly nails every turn, but his ranking still drops as the car's engine is not as powerful as the other competitors. After the highest point of the track, the route drops straight down into Section 3. Kanata informs Ogata that he is going to increase his speed even more, and Shun steals the headset. He instructs Kanata to stop being an idiot as a newbie who doesn't know that track can die from a small mistake, but Kanata tells him to shut his hoe ass up. As he reaches the steep downhill section, Run watches from the screen nervous for Kanata. Shun is mad that Kanata is not listening to him. He thinks that Kanata is a spoilt brat who doesn't know anything about real racing and the dangers of a downward track. Still, Kanata continues zooming past the checkpoint and his ranking rises. Fumihiro is in awe at Kanata's performance, but at the same time, cannot be surprised as Kanata is the student of the GOAT in downhill racing. Car number 86 speeds down the slope and his rank reaches 42. Shun thinks to himself that Kanata is driving too riskily and gets worried. He realizes that Kanata may have been serious about reaching the godly 15, but with the car he is driving, it is very unlikely. Bending down to Ogata, pause. He informs Ogata about a plan and Ogata cannot believe it. Ogata informs Kanata that 26 cars are above him to reach the top 15 and Kanata is pleased as that was the exact information he needed to know. He moves up the rank to 41st place, but the commentator explains that Kanata's driving style is dangerous even in safe sections. Unfortunately, the next section is the death zone. Run, still in her not minor-friendly outfit, is worried as the death zone has animals at every turn. She dismisses her worries, thinking that Kanata is a liar for not telling her that he would join MFG. Who the fuck Ren thinks she is? Kanata doesn't have to tell you shit. The death zone is shrouded in mist from the eruption of Mount Fuji, making the place a ghost town. We can see Kanata cutting through the mist, about to arrive at the death zone. Ogata watches from the laptop, taken aback that the area is extra foggy today, and Shun mentions that veteran drivers drive slowly in this area. On the other hand, Kanata is speeding through it. Shun has newfound confidence in Kanata's driving abilities as he has been able to memorize the entire track, but since the track is a public road and not a circuit, there are cracks and bumps on the road that can screw up his driving. He recalls Kanata saying that the track is like a movie playing in his head. Shun has no clue what he means by that, but suddenly figures out that Kanata is talking about the demo video. Car 86 slices through the mist past every turn with no hesitation or fall in speed. While Ogata is getting noxious from nervousness, Kanata's rank rises to 31st and Kanata is informed that there are 16 cars in front of him. At the rate Kanata is going, he might even gain points as the top 30 cars are given points based on their rankings. These points are useful as even getting as little as a tenth of a point will make your car number outline in gold. Not only that, MFG will supply the driver with free tires and a booth. Kanata executes a 90-degree turn perfectly and blazes down the fog-covered track. Reaching 26th place, the announcer is fucking speechless. At 25th place, Kanata reaches the end of the death zone and drifts his car around a bend. Fumihiro and Ogata cannot believe what they are witnessing as Kanata has done Fujiwara's signature four-wheel drift. Now, Kanata rises to 24th place.